Hey guys! So Royal Navy here. I'm sorry this week's video is a day late. Time just got away from me yesterday. But for Blind Game Day this week, I will be reviewing the most recent game that I played through called Blind Drive. I have an idea for a game that I'm going to play next week. But I'll go more into that next week. Anyway. Oh God, what can I say about Blind Drive? Well, it was hysterically funny. The storyline, had I read the storyline on paper, I would have been like, you have to be kidding me. That's ridiculous. But it worked. The whole premise of like ice cream mafia and, cone pushers, ice cream junkies, that all sounds ridiculous, but it worked. I mean, it was still ridiculous in practice, but it worked. Like, it worked better than you would think it would, just seeing the premise on paper. I loved the scenes in which you get to run over pedestrians or hit cops. I get Grand Theft Auto vibes from that, and I've always wanted to play GTA, so this was awesome. I really liked the submarine levels. That was a really cool, like, twist on the game mechanics that we had already been using. Grandma was absolutely hysterical, and as I said a couple weeks ago, a complete badass. I love her. I would like to know what some of the words she said were. I'm pretty sure they were Yiddish, but I have, like, what does boobily mean? I know what schmuck means, but everything else I'm totally lost on. The sound engineering was beautiful. It put me right there. And the premise of running into ice cream trucks to get a kind of, they call it an ice cream shield. Like, if you pause the game and check your status, it says, 3 lives plus ice cream shield. That's neat. Although it really makes me want ice cream. Maybe they were sponsored by, Haagen-Dazs or like Ben and Jerry's or something, because I can't be the only one who, after playing that game, all I wanted to do was go get an ice cream cone. Sorry, that's my mom coughing in the background. She's got some kind of crud, but anyway, towards the end, there were these things that kind of sounded like ice cream trucks, and I actually ran into one of them at one point, and like Donnie said, slurp, whatever the hell that means, and it gave me like a shield. But I have no freaking idea what those things were supposed to be. They're a lot harder to catch than ice cream trucks, though. They're fast. There's actually a different mode of difficulty called hard, which I actually started playing earlier this week. I didn't record that because, I figure now that the story is over, I don't see the point of recording anymore. But it is a lot more difficult in hard mode. I do have to say, like, some of the levels toward the end were kind of ridiculous, like, especially when you were being shot at and having to avoid cars and kamikaze bikers or whatever the hell they were. Boom boom bikers, I think is what Grandma called them. But that was what made it, enjoyable, because you really had to, be on your toes and, think on your feet, as it were. There's no room for you to, like, goof off or, slough off or anything like that. Let's see. I really hope that the people that develop this game continue to develop more audio-centric games, because I love just this whole concept, this sort of black comedy, crime comedy, science experiment gone wrong, mixed with a little bit of GTA type things. I mean, it was just amazing. I have not enjoyed playing through a game this much in a long time. And unlike Fear, the game of running blind, which I played a couple months ago, this one has a developed storyline. Fear, you just dodge things, basically. It's what my friend Jeff called an endless runner. But this game, it actually had a story, and I love games with stories. And unfortunately, as a blind person, my access to games with storylines that are actually playable by me are very, very limited. There's another one called A Blind Legend, which was actually the first audio game that I ever played. I don't know that I want to play through that whole game, because the story is very generic, but I think I will at least do one video on it, just showcasing the game mechanics and the sound engineering, because they are incredible. But getting back to Blind Drive, you guys probably noticed that the death screens taunt you. After you die, it basically laughs at you. And a lot of the responses are tailored to what level you're on. Like, when I died trying to chase the cops down, it was like, you have the right to remain dead. Some of the other death screens I've seen in the cop levels are things like the center of a donut is 100% fat free. Your eyes are glazed like a donut. Things cop related. But there are a few that can pop up anytime. There's one that was like, well, that was gruesome. And my absolute favorite, next time there will be cake. Now, that is actually a reference to the Portal games, in which you are trapped in a scientific facility by a supercomputer and put through all these experiments, and she promises you that at the end there will be cake. And spoiler alert, the cake is non-existent. So I loved that nod to the Portal games. It's on my bucket list to play those games. Even if I have to play them through a sighted person, I will play Portal one of these days, damn it. Portal and Portal 2, both. But I really enjoyed the way the death screens mock you. So it made dying less frustrating, because I knew that I had, jokes to look forward to. I think one of my favorites, and you all actually got to experience this one, it was like, avoid toasting your nuts, eat them raw. And during the pedestrian pancake chapter, there are several pancake related jokes, which I have to admit, that's one of my favorite chapters. It's satisfying to run over people. Only in games though. I know the difference between game violence and real life violence. Overall, I would give this game a 4.5 out of 5. Kind of the only reason it's not getting a 5 is that I wish it didn't end. I know that sounds silly, but I wish, I really hope there's a sequel or something, because I really enjoyed playing through this game and getting to know the characters. And I hope that if these developers go on to make more games, I hope they stick with these characters. Like Donnie and Grandma, I love the dynamic between them, and Wilkins, oh my god. Is it just me, or does Gelato Boss sound like Jigsaw? He's not quite as monotone. I mean, I've never seen the Jigsaw movies, but I have heard clips of Jigsaw talking, and he has a similar kind of really deep voice. But like I said, 4.5 out of 5 stars. I'm very impressed, and I really hope that these developers go on to make more audio games, because I will jump at the chance to play them. I was actually one of the first to download Blind Drive. My friend Austin posted about it on Facebook, and I was like, oh, let me check this out. And, just by the description, it looked really good. So I bought it, and I think it was $3.99, but it was well worth it. Well worth the money. And if they come out with more games, I will gladly pay for them. So big ups to the developers. You guys did a great job. So did the voice actors. You guys were amazing. Especially the voice of Grandma. Anita Blade Ears. I love it. So yeah, be sure to tune in next weekend because I will be playing a new game, Not a Blind Legend. It's a game that my friend suggested, but I will let that be a surprise. Um, I hope you guys have an excellent day. If you haven't already, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a like on this video. I'm almost to 75 subscribers, guys. I'm stuck at 72 and it's driving me crazy. So any help would be appreciated. If you can just share this video or something, I would love that. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you soon.